Hello, I'm Sandra Al-Mansouri with the Integrator here at the 7th Annual Commercial Strategy Conference, MEA, in Dubai. Joining me here is Hany Abdelkawi, Head of Travel at Google. How are you, Hany?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to be here with you.
Amazing. All right, Hany, we're going to jump in right into the questions.
Please do.
So, as the head of travel at Google, how do you see AI reshaping the way destinations are marked globally?
Artificial intelligence is not new. In fact, artificial intelligence for the travel industry goes long history together. In fact, travel industry is the one that is kind of known for AI innovations. So think about like the autopilot has been invented since 1930, for example. This is one way of calling the artificial intelligence. Obviously, as we are in a big hype and awareness of people about the AI and the possibilities and obviously the computing powers that we are gaining, we are now moving between three stages, between like the wow, it's like, oh my God, like this is amazing, it's like this is lovely. Think about like ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, even conversational and creative or Gen AI, generative AI as we speak. And then to the question of like how can I be better in using AI? And this is like where we see all industries and obviously travel specifically using it to like now. So what can I do right now and how can I even prepare for a better future? And when we speak about future here, we are speaking within the travel industry about also competition. So people look at benchmarking as like, and there might be somebody using AI and doing things better than me, better communicating, better understanding of data, better processing even the seasonality and forecasting and how to do personalization at scale. So AI is coming naturally integrated into like the minds of the traveler, as well as like the travel operator and supplier when it comes to data and so on. And the applications would go many. Like I'll stop here.
Yeah. All right. So jumping to our second question, I wanted to talk about your discussion at the panel discussion, the destination marketing from 2025 to 2024, the new frontiers. So what do you believe is the most critical trends that is shaping the future of travel and hospitality, let's say, going from here and forth to 2024?
In our study, we studied the global mobility of the international travelers from like all source markets globally, 185 markets. And we use like the expertise and predictive modeling and some AI, of course, in like reading the data. So we found very interesting data patterns and correlations. So it goes all the way from finding the very essence of travel, where like we see a strong, significant correlation between the middle class populations globally and the travel and number of international trips are being added. And no matter how there are like one-off events or even pandemics or conflicts in certain areas or so, travel has been always resilient in that front. The other trend we have seen is that travelers would double almost every 15 years. We have seen it from like the data, and this is where like we expect by 2040, there will be almost another billion trips added in the travel industry, which is very good news, by the way, for the travels, you'll still like remain resilient and strong. And other pattern we also noticed, which was not really surprising, but like when you put the data into the action, we found that people who are mature travelers, people like you and I who probably traveled a lot, whenever we think about travel destination, we tend to find those like interesting emerging experiences that you want to try and so on. But on the other hand, for the emerging travelers, people who are, for example, in India, where we are seeing significant GDP per capita and even like confidence and people getting passports for the first time. Just again on the India, passports number have tripled over the last decades, and they are still way to go even if you compare a benchmark with how many passports as a percentage in countries like the States as a mature market. So we will expect a lot of emerging travelers coming to more of what we call mature destinations. They always had a wish list. I want to go to like the Big Ben in London or Burj Khalifa in Dubai or Eiffel Tower in Paris, kind of story. So emerging travelers going to mature markets or mature destinations, and mature travelers going to emerging destinations.
All right, that is interesting and amazing topic. Now, I wanted to go back a little bit to you mentioned emerging travelers, right? So,
Yep.
emerging travelers, emerging destinations. What do you think is the best leverage technology to attract and retain travelers in an increasingly competitive market?
When we are speaking about let's take it even from a destination perspective. So when a destination, let's think about, let's say, the UAE, Saudi, Oman, some of those let's say, strong emerging destinations here. They know there are key source markets that are feeding travelers globally based on obviously population and, as we said, economical power and so on. So India or Indonesia or Brazil or so on. When you now use technology to speak with those people, you don't have to worry too much about designing the perfect campaign from day one. In fact, what technology allows you is to run even small tests, some pilots, and keep on refining. And now we have even amazing technology of doing things such as simple localization or video dubbing or getting really your, let's say, campaigns to speak to those people. And this is where AI and digital in general, we speak about hyper personalization, but at scale. There is something for everybody, and this is where destinations are working their bread and butter to say, I exist and I want people from almost 8 billion people all around the globe to come to me, and I can speak their language, I can offer them some experiences and so on.
Okay, so that is amazing insight. Jumping to my last question
Please.
is, what advice would you give to hospitality professionals aiming to prepare for the rapid change in travel behavior and preference predicted for the next 2 decades?
There are probably 2 or 3 things that come to my mind. It's they are in a strong business, they are happiness maker, and then they will continue to be. We know that, and I've always said it, it's a fast market, but a slow industry. Fast market because the end user have access to a lot of technology. When I, for example, go and check in at the airport, I have my phone telling me so much about the flight and lounge and how many minutes remaining to boarding or if there is a flight delay and so on. But as I'm checking in, the guys, the Asians, are just using still very old screen 1970s kind of systems with 2 and 3 letter codes and so on. So obviously there is a technology change, and in the travel industry, when I say it's slow, because on the supplier side, they have been using legacy systems that works. So why should we worry about it changing them? But we need to match the speed of the actual consumer at the end of the day. Second thing, as we probably stretch the line, think about the artificial intelligence. I know it's probably the hype of everybody speaking about it. So my advice, don't fear AI. In fact, you have to collaborate with AI. And your competition in the future is not an AI replacing marketer, for example. No, but you are competing with another marketer, with another destination, with another hotel, with another, I don't know, airline that are probably ahead of you in using technology, and they are working on better strategies and forecasts. So it's becoming a core skill. Obviously, whenever we speak about hospitality, you speak about empathy, being kind, being nice, and obviously understanding a lot of things on the operational point of view. But you have to be always updated. And the very last one, which is probably one of my favorite topics, is probably gender diversity. In the travel industry at large, and if you look at the Fortune 100 travel companies globally, when you look at how many CEOs, female CEOs, it's a very small single digit globally. And even if you take one lower level of the board compositions for those big countries, we are speaking about almost a 30% only, right? So this is obviously a problem, because when you think about the consumers and the travel industry and money, 80% of the money coming to the travel industry is influenced by women. So we need to make sure to solve it. And it's not a social imperative that we are speaking about. It's a very strategic one, that we need to do. The reason I'm saying that because as we see, particularly in this region with the growth that is expected in countries such as Saudi and UAE becoming part of like the top 15 global destinations, is they will have a massive hiring spree. So they will need to design a pipeline for leaders in the future, and this must start not today, probably yesterday.